Jesper, welcome back. First of all, it's good to see you. Just want to get your assessment of the way the team performed in Marbella. The results didn't go your way, obviously, but how do you think they performed, especially comparing to last year? Now that this is your second camp with the club.
Yeah, it was a different starting point from last year, where I had to get to know everybody and also introduce a lot of stuff. Now we have known the way we want to play, and players are familiar with it, and I think we had a very good training camp. It was a little bit challenging due to some circumstances with the weather and stuff that. Also, we had to give up at one game that was scheduled, but we couldn't play due to the weather. But I think overall it was good. We also saw that there's work to be done, and we also need to continue working. And we played 2 games the last day, and that was very important because we wanted everybody to play 90 minutes. So we go into the season with people being prepared for what's coming up.
Can you provide us a health update on some of the players who are coming back from injury and some of the players we maybe didn't see in some of those games?
Yeah, we can start with the ones we know has been unhealthy for a while. Sam, Ranko, and Ryan will be out for a while. Ryan and Ranko, we see if they can be ready to play around April. But of course, when you come back from a serious injury, also like Ranko, you have a predicted schedule, but it might vary a little bit. But he looks very good. Looks to be in good shape and looks fit. So we have to see when he'll be ready. Ryan, of course, setback, but we have to see if this will be what needed to be done to turn his corner, and hopefully he'll be ready in April. And Sam, I think, has to wait a little bit more. It's also the seriousness of the injury, how long it takes also for him to get fit, not just fit to play, but also fit to perform. So that's the most important thing. But all of them are working and progressing. And we have 2 players who is fit but not been with the group yet. We have Bruno and Savali, who has not been training with us yet. Of course, very exciting that we brought them in, but we also want to see them on the pitch. But it's how it works with the paperwork they have to get done, and it when you wait for it, it's like it's forever. But all of a sudden they've been here for a month, and you forgot that it took a while. But so we just wait for them to be ready to play. But of course, it's also very interesting to see them. Then we had a couple of players that missed out on a few of the games. We had Eddie and Sabi with minor things, but they are good to go and ready to play. And then I don't know if I miss on anybody else. I think we're good, yeah.
And then off the pitch, there was a fair bit of news around the Whitecaps while the team was in Spain. I'm wondering if how much of that was passed down to the team, and what the reaction was from the club and the players there.
No, I think there's 2 things. There's information, and you take in the information you get from the one you trust and need the information from, and we got that. Apart from that, it's not a thing that we think a lot about how everything goes with the club and what is going on there. I've not been really active in following what has happened, but I know, of course, from the information I get from the club, what is going on. But if there's been a little bit more of a negative, talks around the club, then we have to make sure that we try to make it even more positive. And last year we had a year where the club was for sale and a lot of stuff was going on around us, but I think we created some positiveness surrounding this club, and I know that everybody is working the best they can to make the Whitecaps be competitive every day, and that's what we focus upon. And really, it's not a thing that we worry much about.
Thank you.
Thank you, Asa. We'll go online. We'll start with Michael and then Nathan. Michael, please.
Hey Jesper, welcome back to Vancouver.
Thank you.
You started this season last year in Costa Rica, you're starting it again this year. How prepared do you feel for this game coming up on Wednesday? And what do you make of Cartagena's, who right now look like they're in really good form down the Costa Rica League?
Yeah, the sport is very, you always look at the moment and see how does the team perform. It's a team that's come off to a very good start at the league, and it's a team we can see works really hard as well, a structured and a disciplined team, and of course they will try to seize the moment and especially at the home game, the first one, they will come out and try to come out strong. I think we're well prepared for that game. We know that it's going to be difficult. We know from last year that playing in San Jose and playing in Costa Rica was difficult. There's a little bit of altitude, and also it's different climates than what we are used to here. But I think we were prepared. At least we know a little bit more of what it's like having played there a year ago. But I think we're good to go.
Aziel Jackson that's coming in, he was playing in France right up until kind of mid-December. Is he ready to just come straight into the team and like make an impact right away, or do you feel he needs to still get up to speed a little bit with the rest of the team?
Yeah, unless France took over Poland, then I think that he played in Poland, right? But he looks to.
Sorry.
No, you don't know nowadays, huh? Who takes who? But I think No, but ACL, yeah, he came in, and of course he has been also through a preseason with the Aglionia. So he was not, it was not that he had to start over. Of course, it was a bit ago since he played a game, but he also needed the games he participated in, and we also had because we had to cancel one of the games down there, we had to play an inter-squad game that was actually quite beneficial for everybody. So I think that that game he also showed that he first and foremost needed a little bit more and a little extra to get into full fitness, but then he played a full game against Sparta Prague, and I think that he did well in that game. So I think that he also looks to be in a decent fitness and health condition. So he'll be ready to hopefully help us on the pitch when the season starts, because we'll have 4 games coming up the first 10 days. So we'll have to be fit and ready, everybody, to go.
Cheers, Jesper.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Nathan, please.
Jesper, great to see you again to start the new season. One of the players that kind of feels like a new signing, even though he was signed in August, but we didn't really get to see a lot of him, is Sean Lau. Haven't heard a lot about him because I know he had his injury to deal with. How's he doing? How has he looked in this preseason?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question, because it's obviously a player we heard more about than seen. Sean Lau has had calf injuries and calf problems. We have been very cautious trying to build him up, and now he looked good. It was not spectacular what he performed and how he played against Sparta Prague, but it was solid and was good. And it's a player with a good resume and who has been playing at a high level in Germany, and I know that he played in Hamburg and in second Bundesliga, but Hamburg is a special club when they play in second Bundesliga, and it's still a big team in German football. So I think mentally and his quality on the ball is very strong, and it will be very exciting to see him get more and more minutes. Hopefully he will be able to sustain a good health. And that's what we work for, and make him stronger. And then I think that he'll be a player who can definitely help us and play at a high level as well.
You mentioned how quick and fast you're going to get into the season with 4 games right up. It was the same thing last year, and also getting to the final of all competitions that you're in.
Yeah.
You're now doing 4 competitions this season, and it's a very unique schedule in the fact that BC Place is a host city for the World Cup. Have you already talked with your staff and the squad in how you're going to manage this year in terms of time, being that it is such a unique situation?
I think that planning and looking ahead is always good. You always have to have one of your eyes on the short term and the other one on the longer term. But I also been in this game for many years, knows that things change on the way and on the fly. You have to be able to make adjustments. It's very important for me that we have a solid, good roster where everybody knows, what we expect from them. And I think we saw that last year, that's the most important thing, because some of the things that you think you can plan, all of a sudden you have to do something else. And I think for me, I think it's we have a good idea of how we would like to play the season and how we would like to plan the season. It is a quite unique one, as you said. So we have the MLS and the CONCACAF Champions Cup in the first here in the spring. We'll start at home, and then we'll have a large break. You guys will have to not watch much live football with the Whitecaps, I expect, for a longer period, where they have to put grass on BC Place, and they have to do a lot of stuff there, and we are away for that reason. So it is a unique season, and then after the World Cup, it's going to be very hectic with the Leagues Cup, with the Canadian Championships, with the MLS Cup, MLS, and hopefully, see if we can make it to the playoffs again and do well. So I think you would like to be able to plan, and you would like to say, okay, we have to peak here, there, and at this point we have to be very good. And now, but I think that we just have to get going, and then we of course have a plan for the near, what's happening right in front of us, and also what is happening further away, and let's hope that we're able to plan well and do well.
Plans always look good on paper, don't they?
yeah. Normally you win on paper.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nathan. We'll go Simon, then Colin.
Hey, Jesper. Czech Sabali, who you brought in. I'd just like to know a little bit more about the way you see him in the team, and what we can kind of expect from him when he gets up and running with you guys. Yeah,
it's a player who has been playing in France for most parts of his career, and he's a fast player. Offensive player with 1v1 qualities, but also very good at linking up and play with relations to his teammates, and he's definitely a very interesting player. He's 26 and should be nearing his peak of his powers, if I could say so. I think that it's really a player who can play also in many different spaces. He's fast. He can play in the back space. He can also play in between the defense line and midfield line for the opponents. He can play on the winger. He can play different positions. He can play as a striker. So I think that it's a very interesting player. We're looking forward to see him as well when he will make it to the pitch. So I think it's an exciting player that we will bring in.
During camp, I was interested in knowing how you've seen the younger players really come along, either it's Badwell or Alumi, but even along the ones that you brought up from MLS Next Pro that you brought into camp as well. How was your overall assessment of the younger players over your time in Spain?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of talent. I think there's definitely, like we saw last year. We don't even talk about the fact that Tate and Eddie are still very young. We have Kenji is still a young player. We have, but we have obviously we saw Jeevan get more and more time last year, and he's been looking very good from the beginning of training camp here, and he's a guy we need to make sure that we help to take the next step also, because he can become a very good player. Of course, he's a big talent. We have Liam McKenzie, who was out after making his debut against Chicago last year, and then he was out with an injury. He is also progressing. So I think Ryan, as you spoke about, Ryan Lumi, is a very talented and mature young player, and he's only 18 still, and he's also a guy that we see a lot of potential in playing for us already now, but also in the future. So I think, the talent is there. We have to help them. They have to help themselves to get to where they want to maximize all of their talents. And I think that we see some very good things from them, and then we help them. Then we had Mihail coming back from loan from Calgary, which did him very well. He looks he's been looking very good as well. Nicola, who also came up from the MLS Next last season, he also looks very well. They have played fullback positions. We had Johnny, who's very young, and but already now he can also make an impact in games. So I think it's just a testament to the amount of talent that we have in house, and I think that it's also up to us to make sure that we get some out of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Welcome.
And we'll finish with Colin, please.
Sorry, is that better?
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Hi Jesper, good to see you. Best of luck this season. I'm sorry if this question has been asked already. I had to join the call late. The game next Wednesday in Costa Rica, is it an inconvenience is the wrong word, but it breaks up your week's preparation. In the ideal world, would you prefer not to have this game and have a clean week, or do you see it as an opportunity to get players extra minutes before the Real Salt Lake game?
I prefer to have the game, because then we're qualified to the Champions Cup. But of course, it's a long travel. But having said that, we know that since we started. So I think we did it last year, and then we had to go back play in Portland. Now we have to go back and play in Vancouver, and I think it's always great. I think it's exciting, and we planned for this. We had a clean week up. You can say that we had a clean week up to the Cartagena game instead then. And we know that this is going to be the reality of larger parts of the season, that we have to play many games in a short amount of time. So we have to get used to it. I think the players, they enjoy it, and we also enjoy that we finally have to go play again. It's been a while, so should it be the first game of the season? In that regard, you might be right that it would be nice to start out in the MLS and then be well prepared to also physically to get into the CONCACAF Cup. But it was the same last year, and I think we've seen already teams that had to play the first round last week and this week. So I think that we are not that bad off having to play next week in Costa Rica.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Jesper. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin. And that's all the questions we have for today. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.